Welcome to the Abarca, where we speak about fitness, entrepreneurship, and humble beginnings. This is season 3, episode 8. I'm here with my guy Lucas, aka DQ Fitness. I have a very special guest here. Joe, roll the intro. Announcements, guys. Before we start, I specialize in fat loss and building booties. They call me the booty doctor. So that being said, I do have online coaching, which includes diets, individualized training programs that are available. In-person training is also available if you're located in the tri-state area. Please reach out to me through Instagram at abarca.fitness or through email. They are both tagged on my channel. But fuck that, man. I have a trainer here. He's a fellow trainer. I've known him through Instagram only, and I've been trying to get him on the pod since season 2, but we finally got it done. Lucas, I know you, but for the people that don't, they're tuning in on YouTube, on Instagram Live. Please introduce yourself and what you do.
What's up, everyone? So I'm Lucas. So I'm from Union, New Jersey, born in Brooklyn. I got into fitness maybe my whole life. So I became a personal trainer about 4 years ago. So I started in LA Fitness, basically just doing sales, and I grew a love for fitness. And then basically from there, I reached out to a bunch of trainers in New Jersey asking for a job, basically. Not really a job, but someone to mentor me into how to be a personal trainer. So like I was never a person in school that like was good just from reading books and shit, from like just desk things. So what I did was some guy named Arthur. So my boss, he was the only one that reached out to me. And yeah, from there, we have 2 personal training facilities now.
Nice.
And yeah.
Nice, dude. So you've been a trainer, you said, for about 4 years. It's funny that you mentioned that you started your fitness career in LA Fitness. I also did as well.
I feel like everyone comes from LA Fitness.
You know, and you know what? Like any trainers out there who are interested in pursuing the route of personal training, being a celeb trainer, being, you know, some type of specialty type of trainer, I always tell them and recommend them to start with a commercial gym, just because, you know, you end up finding your own network, you end up finding your clients there, and you end up getting a following there.
You meet a lot of new people too.
Exactly. And then from there, you can transition out of the commercial gym, and you already have a following, you already have a network, you already have like a fan base, an audience, a following, and then you kind of continue and capitalize from there.
Yes.
You know? That's great, man. That's cool. So for the people out there, you're a trainer. What's your niche? What's your specialty?
So
make sure you're talking on the mic.
So my niche, so I specialize in women. So my personal training facility, we're only women. So the only guys you ever see there is mostly like husbands, kids, or boyfriends. So we specialize in women. I feel like nowadays it's the best niche to get into, just because a lot of women nowadays get into fitness, but they don't feel comfortable going to the gym, because you know how guys are, they're creepy in the gyms, and women can't feel sexy working out.
Right.
So that's my niche. I love working with women, just because working with guys is different than working with girls. Working with guys it's a lot harder. I feel like a lot more guys are more judgmental when working with them, and they have a lot of ego. So that's why I stick with women.
I like that. So you said you train out of Jersey.
Yes.
Is that your hometown around? Did you grow up in the city?
So I grew up in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. So you're from New York.
Yeah. So I mean, not forever. I moved to Jersey when I was like 7, so not really. But I grew up in both. I was going back and forth for a little bit.
Oh, nice. When did you end up moving to Jersey?
So yeah, when I was like 7, 8 years old, around that time. That's when I moved to Union.
Wow. Okay. All right. So now you're in Union. Now talk to me about Luke before he became a personal trainer. Because again, like, you know, this podcast, we talk about entrepreneurship, fitness, a little bit of dating as well. But especially on my one-on-one podcasts, humble beginnings. So speak to me about growing up. Let's say maybe, your first job, growing up, where were your first employments, etc.
So honestly, from a young age, I already knew that school was not for me.
Really?
I hated that route. Both my brothers, they went to top high schools, top colleges, but me from a young age, I was never a school person. Whenever in school, I was like, why am I learning about this? I don't want to learn about this. So it was always about the hustle for me. So I actually started very young working. So I was basically working. I started my first job was at Barcode.
Wow,
a club.
okay.
Yeah, so I was like one of those Pink Panthers and those Transformers and Barcode when I was young. So I started off with that. Then I got into the restaurant business on the weekends while I was in school. This was like when I was maybe like a sophomore, junior in high school. And then from there, once I was done with soccer, it was just like I had nothing left. You know what I mean? So I had nothing left. There was no really passion for anything, and that's where fitness came involved. So once I was done with soccer, I got into fitness, working out a lot, just because fitness felt like something that basically it felt like soccer. Like when I was playing soccer for 14 years, it was just that hour and a half I was playing soccer, my mind was off everything. It was a great meditation. So that's when I got into fitness and I fell in love with it, and from there, everything's now.
That's crazy, man. So that's crazy. So you felt like even when you were younger, you weren't school just wasn't for you.
No, yeah, school was not for me.
So capitalize on that. Like, how come it wasn't for you? Like, were you just bad, like book wise, conduct wise?
Both. Yeah, I was bad in both. I just didn't like the stuff I was learning in school. I felt like in the future I didn't want to do any of those type of things. I always had like that entrepreneurial mindset. My dad's an entrepreneur. And I wanted to do something different. I saw my brothers go to high school and college, and I didn't like what they were doing. So I wanted to be different. So I remember like when I was like a freshman in high school, I told my mom, I don't want to go to college. And she was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
She was like, we gave you everything. We're gonna get you in a good high school. We're gonna get you whatever college you want. I was like, nah, I just don't want to go that route.
Right.
So like during my 4 high school years, it was basically just me proving to my parents that I was capable of not going to college. And from there, around my junior and senior year, I started reading a lot more books. I started getting into like great entrepreneurs. I think someone who changed my mindset was Gary Vee.
Wow.
Yeah, he changed my mindset for real. So I was watching a lot of his videos on YouTube.
Well, what about him? Because, I'm a huge Gary Vee fan, and he helped me out getting out of, transitioning from, like a 9-to-5 type of thought process, because I was thinking about doing physical therapy.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I remember I listened to Gary Vee, and something just clicked, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start my own business. Was that something similar?
Something similar, but what I liked about Gary Vee was he didn't care. You know what I mean? However you're going to get your money, you're going to get your money. And it doesn't matter how you're going to get your money. By the end of the day, wherever you're going to go in life, that's what I liked about Gary Vee. He just didn't care what people said about him. He says whatever he wants. He's not that entrepreneur that everyone thinks of. So that's why I really liked Gary Vee. And then I got into fitness. And then my first fitness person I loved was Bradley Martin.
Okay.
So I love his entrepreneur mindset. Him and the guy who was athlete, Christian Guzman. Those types of guys were I really started to fall in love with.
Nice. I love that. Michelle, how do you end up posting like a comment on the just to welcome questions on the live?
I pin it after I put it up as a comment.
All right. Is there any way you can do that?
Yeah, that's
All right. So that being said, okay. So you went through all that. You worked at a club, which is great. I've never worked at a club. That's pretty dope.
Different.
I love Barcodes too, by the way.
It's crazy.
Barcode's crazy. Have you always wanted to be a personal trainer? Or if you did not, what did you actually want to be?
So obviously my first dream job, if I had to pick anything, was obviously be a professional soccer player.
Okay.
But that didn't happen. So it was going to be something in the fitness field. And that's why I got into personal training. And when people think of a personal trainer, they don't think personal trainers make a lot of money. But people don't get that there's so many different outlets that you can make money with personal training, which is why I love the entrepreneur side of personal training. You can start your own meal prep company. You can start your own clothing brand. What you're doing a podcast. So stuff like that I really liked. And that's why I got into that personal training aspect in my career. And now I'm getting into online training. We talked about that. So I joined the HTT club. And now I'm going to take that route because I want to find more ways to make money through online, and that's the way I want to go.
Yeah. So me and Luke were actually having a conversation prior to the podcast episode. Shout out to HCT and Brandon Carter. You know, he changed my life. You know, he's my mentor. He's still my mentor, and he helped me out opening up my online coaching business. And Luke here, he just joined the team as well. Mm-hmm. And now we're kind of branching off, and that's another thing that we actually kind of bonded with.
Yeah, that was crazy
as well. Which is hilarious. We were actually in a call with Brandon Carter on Tuesday. Next thing you know, I get a notification from Luke. He was like, "Yo, bro, I'm on the call too." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just small world, man.
Small
it's crazy.
world.
He's changing lives left and right, man.
He's
so
awesome.
Shout out to Brandon Carter. So last question before we end up tackling some questions on Instagram. Do you train any men at all? And if you don't, do you have any history of training men?
So I do. So I do train some men. So I train boyfriends of my clients. I actually got some guys I train. Me, honestly, girls are easier to train, but I like training guys more just because I feel like it's like training myself. You know what I mean? So I don't really gotta, like, when I was learning how to train girls, I had to look up workouts for girls. I had to learn about what muscles to hit for girls. Guys is easy. It's what I put myself through. And especially a lot of my guys, they come to me, they're asking to gain weight. And when I started off, I was very skinny. So I started my workout journey when I was maybe like 4 years ago. That's when I started my like 100% going all in on my fitness career. And I was like maybe 120 pounds. I was very skinny. And from there, I gained in 2 years over 50 pounds.
Wow. And
that's from just straight eating, going to the gym. I was going to the gym twice a day. So that's why I feel like training guys is it's easier than training girls.
Dude, that's bro. It's so crazy. Now that we're talking, man, like I was a skinny guy too. We have a lot of things in common, man. I weighed 130 pounds. You weighed 120. How much do you weigh now?
So right now I'm like 188 pounds. And
Wow.
a month ago I was 198 pounds.
Okay.
So I just started my cut.
Nice.
So my goal is to get to 175 with maybe like 8% body fat. Right now I'm sitting at 188. And last time I checked, it was like 15% body fat. But I want to get back to that athlete-looking body. I feel like that's the best-looking physique. Yeah. And that's the physique I want to get to again.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And you know, when I was growing up, I would like to experiment with my body, put myself through specific diets, put myself through different training programs. Now that I'm a little older, I'm almost 30. It's a little different, man. Like just all of a sudden you hit a certain age and you're like, shit, man, I usually just do this and I get abs. Now I got to work extra hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm actually weighing at 178.
Okay.
I started.
You look good though, bro.
Yeah, bro. Listen, 130. I started my journey senior year in high school. I weighed 130. I did wrestling back then. Okay. I also played soccer as well. So, bro, it's fucking awesome. Crazy. So within a year, I gained about 70 or 80 pounds. So I reached up to 200 pounds. I was just straight no neck. Then from there, you know, I've been fluctuating up and down. And I just started training for a Muay Thai fight. I'm going to be doing a fight soon.
So how's the training like with the Muay Thai? Is it different than regular weightlifting?
Yeah, bro. Listen, bro. Listen. You're either fit and then you're like fighter fit. Fighter fit is a different animal. It's a different animal. You feel like you have asthma every day. You know what I'm saying? So just getting to that point, I was a solid 190 about 2 months ago. Now I'm dropping down to 179. And my goal weight is 165 to be fighting off of 165.
So like, what are you doing to get to that weight?
Oh, bro, it's diet, training, and a lot of Muay Thai training, a lot of conditioning, a lot of Muay Thai. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. We have a lot of things in common. But that being said, since you were a personal trainer, and I noticed, I did a little bit of homework and I did a little bit of stalking on your page.
Okay.
You do specialize, and one of your niches is getting curves for some women.
Yes.
Okay. You get the hourglass shape, right?
Yes.
Just to educate all the women out there, because I train a lot of women as well. What are your go-to, let's say top two? What's your top two booty workouts?
So top two.
Top two.
So top two booty workouts for me, what I put my clients through. Oof, that's a hard question because I like a lot of them. So honestly, hip thrusting. I think hip thrusting is probably number one.
Yeah.
I love hip thrusting. You can add different things with it. So when my clients add bands, add restriction bands to it. I like dumbbells. You can do one leg hip thrust. So I think the hip thrust is goated. And number two is back lunges, bro. Back lunges. I think elevated back lunges. I feel like that really targets the glutes a lot. That's a really good one. And if I had to pick a third one, if I could pick a three, probably a step up.
Step up?
A slow step up. Yeah. That's my top three.
Mine would probably be the hip thrust. That would be number one.
Yeah, that's the GOAT.
As the booty doctor.
That's the GOAT.
You have to. And like you said, doing the single leg hip thrusts.
Yeah, there's so many ways of doing it.
Yeah, there's different varieties. You could do a conventional type of Romanian type. My second would probably be Bulgarian split squats.
See, I was going to say that.
And then the third would probably be sumo squats.
Sumo squats? Okay.
Sumo squats. Yeah, sumo squats are good. Or even a sumo conventional deadlift. You could even hit those too.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Bulgarians are awesome.
Bulgarians, bro.
Bulgarians,
So we agreed on top two. We got the hip thrust and we got the Bulgarians.
Yeah, Bulgarians, they're terrible. Just know they're terrible.
They're very painful.
Very painful.
But you feel like Nicki Minaj after you finish them.
So it's like squats or hip thrusts.
No. All right. So basically, you're in a lunge position, but your back leg is elevated on a bench or on a platform.
It's terrible.
And you go straight down and up.
Be like, yo, Lucas, try it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I like days tomorrow.
So it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Now, since we're getting into the nice, spicy areas of personal training and girls and women, etc., I want to ask, because I always get asked this question whenever I go on different podcasts as a guest. If you had a preference, would you be with a girl who has a BBL or a natural body?
Like be with them actually?
Yeah, like wife a girl up. Yeah.
Me, honestly, I like the natural look.
The natural.
I'm more of the natural person.
Okay.
I like a gym person. Yeah, I like the natural.
So all right. So you said a gym person. So like, would you be with a girl who has abs?
Depends. Not crazy. Like I don't think too crazy, but.
The one that's like the line right here.
Oh no. Nah. Just like a nice little.
Like a little line, but she doesn't have a full, ab situation.
So
Okay,
let's say let's say abs or no abs.
No abs.
No abs. Natural.
Natural.
But she has to be somewhat fit.
She gotta be fit. My.
She has to work out.
Yeah, she has to work out. If
See,
you
man,
if you don't work out, it's like, all right.
For me, it's she doesn't have to work out. If she works out maybe like once a week, that's fine. I don't need a girl who's fit. I don't want to be seeing a six pack when I'm down on her. I don't want to see.
it
You know what I'm
either,
saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want her arms
She
more
gotta be
toned
fit,
than
though,
mine.
bro. She gotta be fit, and she has to go to the gym. That's
You
my
know?
first. That's my first love is the
Like,
gym.
it's just, bro. Like, you know what's crazy? Listen, when I've been in a relationship, all right, I've been asked to work out with your girl. Okay, so we have a question. All right, let's tackle that first.
Let's get deeper into that.
This one's hilarious. Right?
Yeah,
This is for you.
me.
Question: have you ever been seduced by a milf?
I plead the fifth. No, actually,
No.
I haven't. No, I haven't. I swear.
All right, so
That's a funny question.
So he's not capping. I've been seduced by a milf. I'm not gonna lie. When I was 21, I remember I met this girl at the gym. She was not my client. Okay, she was a gym member, and I thought she was younger. She was actually like 37. She had a kid.
shit.
Yeah, it was something about her. She had like the J-Lo vibes, man. She had the jeans. She looked young. She had the curves. I believe she was Puerto Rican, Dominican. She was short.
Oh, that's a perfect move right there.
Yo, it was crazy. It was insane.
move
It was
right
insane. And we had a fling. We were fuck buddies for a solid 2 years. And then next thing you know, this was crazy. Next thing you know, she started asking me to bring my dog out to the park while she was bringing her kid. And I was like, yo, that's too much of a date. That's too much of a family time type of vibe.
I'm just.
I can't do that, man. I can't. And she knew my age, so After 2 years, I had to cut that off, especially since she was gonna turn, 38. I had a cap at that time.
That's wild. 21 to 38.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. It was her birthday that week,
wild.
and I was like, yo, you know what? Let me not. All right, but going back to the question. So, damn, what were we
We're
talking about?
the BBL versus
The BBL.
natural.
Okay, so yeah, so all right. So I was gonna say a story. So I remember in my the relationships that I've had in the past, there's always that time, and you could tell me your stories as well about your relationships.
Okay.
I remember my exes always asked me, hey, like, let's go to the gym together. And you would think, me as a trainer, oh yeah, sure, no problem. This is what the issue is when you're working out with your girl. They start asking you for help, which is completely fine. You're a trainer. You're an educator, right? You're an instructor. So she's like, hey, baby, hey, daddy, whatever. Like, am I doing the squat correctly? And I'm like, no, sweetie, you got to do X, Y, Z. You're correcting her form. And then let's say she starts doing it wrong. She's still doing it wrong. This is trial and error. Then it ends up becoming a training session. Okay? Then you're correcting her form all the time. And then she's just kind of like, all right, but like teach me, but don't train me. We're here together as a couple, but it's not a training session. So then I get confused and I'm like, girl, like, you're asking me for help. I'm teaching you, but now you don't want me to train you. That's basically what we're doing. Every single time I would go out to the gym with my girl, we're getting some type of argument. I'll send her upstairs. I'm like, girl, go to Stairmaster, do your own thing, because
you see, I like that.
I like that. You're destroying my workout.
My girl, like, I like to train her. Like, I love to train my girl.
But then let me ask you this: are you at the gym for like 3 or 4 fucking hours? Then?
Oh yeah, see, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't work out with my girl every day.
I got
though.
shit to do.
Maybe just the weekends, but like that, like Monday through Friday, that's me. That's my time. That
Yeah,
hour I'm in the gym,
yeah,
just
yeah.
me, my headphones, my hoodie.
Right,
That's it.
right,
Then the
right,
weekend, all right, I'll take one for the team. I'll take the 3-hour
Yeah,
workout
yeah.
session, and from there, But I like that though.
It's
The
crazy.
fitness couples, bro, they stay together forever.
That's what I hear.
They do.
That's a hashtag. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Yeah, just for me, man, it's just we could go to the gym, but you're not gonna be just working out. Or I've even told my girl, I'm like, listen, just follow what I do. Don't even talk to me because we're gonna get into an argument, and I don't
here's the thing.
want you worrying.
So fitness girls, you don't gotta worry about them going out on a weekend drinking. Because if they're really a fitness girl, they're not gonna be going out to 4 a.m. partying. So my ex, she was a fitness girl. She loved working out. So on the weekends, she would never go on the weekends just because she was like, oh, tomorrow I got to be up. I'm going to go to the gym early, this and that. She wouldn't drink because it'll mess up her macros. So that's the thing about fitness girls that I like. They don't like going out. They don't like clubbing and stuff. Once in a while, yes.
I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
So I've never been with a fitness girl.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So, I mean, maybe,
awesome.
that's crazy. I just got educated. That's it.
Yeah.
No.
There's a lot of fitness couples. Yeah. There's a lot. They're dope. My favorite's, Christian Bumstead and his girlfriend. You know Mr. Olympia? Mr. Olympia. He won like the last 4 Olympias.
What's his name?
Christian Bumstead, C-Bum.
No, I got it.
He owns the supplement company, Raw Supplements. Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns them. Him and his girl are like the best gym couple.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got to see a face. If I see a face. All right, so since we're talking about natural bodies and BBLs, what's your position on surgeries? Talking about Brazilian butt lifts, which is a BBL, gastric sleeves, tummy tucks. Do you support it? Do you not? As a trainer, in a trainer's perspective, what do you think about it? Do you think it's the easy way out?
Honestly, I mean, teach is their own. On that point, that's my answer to that. But a lot of girls think that once they get the BBL, it's over. They don't got to work out ever again. But they don't get that. Once you get that BBL, you got to put in double times of work, or unless you're going to have to get that surgery again. So
a lot of people don't know
get that.
Some girls don't know that.
They don't know that. They think once they get the BBLs, it's look amazing. But a year goes down the line, they're like, oh my God, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of clients actually that come right after they get their surgery.
Right.
And they say, I just got my surgery done. I need to start working out because you got to get everything proportional.
Right.
And I have some clients that like they get BBLs and some look crazy. And I got to fix that. That's my job. I got to fix that.
Like fix crazy in what way? Like they look like ants, like from the movie Ants.
Yeah, basically. Something like that. The light proportion, it doesn't look right.
Right. So then you got to build the legs.
You got to build the legs so it looks right. So that's what girls don't get. So yeah, I mean, I got nothing against BBLs. Teachers their own, but me personally, I say just go to the gym.
What about gastric sleeves and tummy tucks and things like that?
Those are good too to lose body weight, but I mean, then again, you're still gonna have to work out after you get the tummy tuck. Because if you don't work out after you get the tummy tuck, you're just gonna gain that weight back super quick. So that's the whole point of it. It's like basically like head start. It's a head start into the gym game, but once you get that tummy tuck, you get your recovery time. Then you got to put double times of work to like maintain it. So I mean, I got nothing against that.
Yeah.
You?
I got nothing against it, but what I think is the easy way out.
100%.
And you know what's crazy is just that because they took the easy way out, once they're slim and skinny, their eating habits do not change. Their dietary habits do not change. Their lifestyle does not change. So most, not all, but most girls that end up having those procedures done, they still end up partying in the weekends, etc. And then they end up ruining the work of whatever surgeon, whatever doctor they end up doing, similar to what you just said. And then they end up reaching out to guys like us, booty doctor, hourglass person, who, you know, we end up having to fix that, which is completely fine. That brings more money to us. But I think people just need to be a little bit more aware and perspicacious about, you know, the post-surgery route and the recovery route. You know 100%. What I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. All right. So I want to share a stat with you and I want to hear your perspective on it.
Okay.
Recent studies show that 40% of women in the U.S. are obese. It's 40%. It's very, very close to half.
True?
It's very true. Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's your take on that? Is it believable? Do you think it's acceptable as a trainer, as a fitness professional?
Okay, so here's my thing, right? So me, Monday through Friday, I eat home. I meal prep everything. Weekends, that's when I go out. I feel like nowadays people are getting comfortable just getting food Monday through Friday, going out, eating, and that's the reason why people are obese. They don't really care about what they eat and what they put in their bodies. And down the line, it just messes you up. So I think, I mean, that's probably true, 100%.
Do you think it's acceptable?
No, I don't think it's acceptable. I don't think so.
Yeah, you know, it's like if you actually think of it as in the macro, if you step back and actually think 40% of women.
That's crazy.
You know, like if you end up getting 100 women in a room, you literally can say that, you know, 40 out of 100 people are going to be obese. Not overweight, but obese. Obese, for the people that don't know, at home, on YouTube, on Instagram, etc. Obese is in the numbers of your waist or your hips being over 45 inches in circumference. Okay?
That's
that
wild.
Is over 35% body fat. Yes, body fat. Yes, fat percentage in your body. Okay? And of course, it depends on height. But let's say, you know, most women, their average height is about 5'5". Okay, 5'4". So even then, we're talking about easily over 160, 170 pounds. And if you actually kind of think about it, if you go to a bar, if you go to a restaurant, you could even cut those people in half, and you could literally say these people are obese.
Is that stat in America or is it?
It's in the U.S.
Oh, U.S.
It's in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really bad in the U.S.
Yeah, U.S. is terrible.
Yeah. All right. Michelle, do we have to change the battery right now? 2 minutes? All right. We got one more question. The love yourself movement. There's a moment here, especially after 2020, 2021, especially after, how can I call it? The vid. Okay? Let's say the vid, because I don't want to get canceled on YouTube. Let's call it the vid. After the vid, a lot of people ended up gaining weight. Okay? And a lot of influencers in different types of body types and weights, etc., they started really pushing the love yourself movement. So I'm talking about men and women, not only women. Most of them are overweight, okay? And they end up just promoting the fact that you need to love yourself because you're overweight, okay? And then that ends up getting into a spiral of manifesting your own man, manifesting, your weight loss, or love your curves, etc. Do you think this love yourself movement is a positive thing for women and men, or is it a negative thing for women and men on social media?
On social media, I mean, I think honestly it's negative. So me personally, I don't really get into social media like that. I hate social media.
Really?
Yeah.
As a trainer, I gotta tackle on that.
Like literally, the only times I'm on social media is just to post my clients and
Right.
check my DMs and stuff like that. But I think social media ruined everything. You know what I mean? I think.
What do you mean by that? Everything like what?
So relationships.
Oh yeah,
Number
that's crazy.
one. What they put out there. A lot of fake news. A lot of in politics, ruined a lot of politics. But to answer your question, I think it's a very negative thing because now, I mean, let's say for instance, right, Kim Kardashian posts something, no matter what, love yourself. You know how many girls are gonna listen to Kim Kardashian? So that's why I don't like that. I feel like if you're not happy with what you look like and how you feel, then change it. You change it. Don't let someone else on social media change it for you or put something in your mind to change your decision.
Right.
So I think it's negative.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Because there's always room for improvement.
Always room
and
for
with
improvement.
with that phrase, you're settling, and you don't want to settle. This is men and women. You don't want to settle with your body type. You don't want to settle with where you are, even financially. Maybe we could just capitalize on lifestyle as well. But yeah, I don't think the love yourself movement is a positive one. I think it is projected to get even worse.
100%.
I think it's getting to a point where it's out of control, where, even rappers out here, they're overweight and they're saying, like,
love yourself.
Love yourself.
But down the line, it's not good for you.
Fuck niggas, this and that. And then, and just to be realistic, these type of people, they're going to get to a point where they're going to look left and right and they're going to be like, oh shit, like, I fucked up. I'm not going to be able to settle down with a significant other.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in a rabbit hole where, they said one thing, but now they're being two-faced and they're going to be tackling something else.
I mean, all that just to make money.
Yeah.
It's all a money thing.
Yeah.
You know
Because it's a wave right now, man.
It's a wave.
The wave right now is to love yourself. Period.
I think it's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. So, Michelle, do we have any questions here?
Guys, have you ever been yelled at by a lesbian over her girlfriend?
I'm assuming that you're speaking to the lesbian's girlfriend.
In what way?
You're training them.
Oh, I'm training them as a trainer. Okay.
You're training them as a trainer. So have you guys ever personally had a lesbian girlfriend get mad at you both for training?
No.
Nah.
I think they're very cool, man.
They're cool. No,
yeah,
seriously, they're cool. I never had a situation. With my
I never had a
clients.
situation, men or women, who go the other way.
Boyfriends, though.
They're very smooth.
Do you have any problems with boyfriends or no?
No, actually, no.
So here's the thing, right? So my clients, I've never tried my clients. I like to keep things professional.
Right.
But I got a lot of crazy boyfriends. Like there was this one story, like it was like I was training some girl, one of my clients, like 8 p.m. And next thing you know, I see headlights by the windows. And her boyfriend walks in. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? And he literally walks in and was like, oh, I just want to see what you guys were up to. Like, what is this? So yeah, I do have problems with boyfriends. Like I all the time, like a lot of my clients' boyfriends stalking my profile. They're always under my views and stuff.
Right.
Because I mean, as a trainer, when you train girls, you get that image from people. Yo,
Yeah.
he's a hoe. He fucks his clients, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you just gotta keep it professional, and that's the difference between a trainer that makes $50K a year to a trainer that makes $200K a year.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I rather.
I like how you said that.
So I would like, let's say, for my clients to tell their friends, yo, go train my trainer. He's an amazing trainer, rather than my clients telling their friends, yo, I just fucked my trainer. And from there, you're just going to lose clients. Because let's say you do take that step and you try to get with one of your clients, you fuck them, they're going to expect free things from you. They're going to expect free sessions.
Facts.
They're going to expect, let's say they're late and they want to change times. No, it's not like that. Everything's a business. You got to respect my time. In our field, it's not like we make a salary. It's not like we make a commission. We go by, how I go by is by session. So let's say you cancel on me or you leave, then I don't make my money. So with my clients, I try to keep it very professional. And they know that. Sometimes, I had clients before flirt with me or stuff like that, but I keep it professional. I tell them, shut up, yo, I'm your trainer. That's it. I don't want to have no bad luck, because as a guy trainer, once you have that bad luck, then you're not gonna get no more clients.
Yeah, and women talk, man. I've been in those situations where, they would flirt, or they'll see if they'll put the bait out there. They'll see if you catch the bait. You know what I'm saying? And it's when I was younger, I would say it was definitely more difficult. But as you get older, man, and I always wanted to own my own gym, be a personal trainer, and make this a career. So it was very, very important for me to make sure to not have a bad reputation.
I feel like we do all have those moments when we first start, like especially in LA Fitness. I feel like all LA Fitness trainers, they're dogs.
Of course.
But once you get to that level where you want to take it to the next step, and like I said, if
and make some real money,
$200K trainer or something like that, it's gotta be professional.
Yeah,
you gotta keep it business. So I say for all you trainers out there, yo, don't try to get with your clients. Do not, because that's just gonna hurt you in your future if you want to take fitness to the next level and open your own gym.
And to capitalize on that, I remember the only time I had an issue with a client's boyfriend. It wasn't even like an issue. It was the female client literally telling me, hey, listen, I don't want to be posted. I don't want you to say that you train me. I want this as secret as possible. Matter of fact, my man has a location.
That's crazy.
I am technically on my girl's house. I don't want you to. Yeah, it was like that, dude.
That's wild.
It was like that. So she would come to my facility. We would train, but it was like, and you know what it is. We got content. We got to promote fitness, etc. And she was a good looking girl, and she would definitely really try. And she was very popular amongst her friends. She had a huge following, and it would have been a phenomenal thing to promote her and to say that I train her. But you have to respect the relationship, man.
That's the worst, when you can't post a client.
Yeah, and the guy would just kind of, I don't know, man. The guy would just not want her training. He would want to know which gym you're going to, what time you're going to, and shit like that, man. It was crazy.
I feel like those types of guys never get that one girl they want. You cannot be doing that. You can't trust your girl, then that's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, so you shared a story about your clients' boyfriends. Okay, and you've had issues with them in the past. Have you ever had any stories where you had any issues with a client?
Issues in what way?
Any type of way. For example, I could name, a time where my chemistry was not there with my client. And if you actually think about it, you're training a client for two or three times a week, let's say, for an hour. And the training session, it's a privilege to be training your client, because it's their escape, it's their alone time. Outside of work is the only time they could be in their own thoughts. They could be with their own trainer. They could focus on themselves, because when they end up getting home, they have to cater to their mans, they have to cater to their womans, they have to cater to their kids, and do adult things outside of the gym. So it's a privilege training with clients. However, imagine if you do not have chemistry with that client, and they ended up buying, let's say, a month training session 3 times a week, and the hour just drags. They do not have a conversation with you. They have an attitude.
I know which ones you're talking
You know what I'm saying?
about.
So it's scenarios where you had an issue. It doesn't have to be a physical altercation or anything like that. But have you had any negative experiences with a client?
I mean, I think the only negative experience I had with, let's say, I'm going to use this example. So I had this one client, I used to train her Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. So that's super early.
Right.
I mean, 6 a.m. is my limit. I will never do 5.
You don't do? Oh shit, that's me.
6 a.m. is my limit, yo.
Okay.
But this girl, she used to come to my sessions late, like 15 minutes every day, late. And it came to a time where I was like, and this is when I was first like started growing my book. So at that point, I was just taking it because I didn't have like many clients, you know what I mean? So it came to a point where, let's say one day I woke up at 6 a.m., I got there at 6, and she just did not show up. So next session on Monday, I was like 2 minutes late, and she tweaked at me in the parking lot for like 20 minutes. Oh, you always late to sessions, this and that. And I told her, shut up, yo, you're late to my session every time. We confirmed the night before, you cancel 15 minutes before our session. And I told her I'm not going to take her as a client. But I feel like that's the only negative experiences I had with my clients. All my clients right now and currently I train in the past, we have really good relationships. And that's like, I feel like as a trainer, that's number one with your clients is your relationship with your client. Because half the times my clients, they're just talking to me during a workout. Like, yeah, we're getting a workout in, but half the time my clients are just talking to me about their day, what's going on with their life.
You're almost a therapist.
Literally, just a therapist. You're a therapist and you just work out with them. So I try to keep my clients happy, and I keep a great connection with my clients just because you never know who's going to be who in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have a lot of clients that are real estate agents. They own businesses. So I try to keep a good connection with them just for the future because let's say I do step away from personal training or they stop training me. I want to have that friendship and that bond still with my clients. So that's why I try to avoid all the negative stuff with my clients and keep the good ones.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever rejected a client because, like in this scenario, you knew that it wasn't going to happen long term?
Yeah. I mean, I think as like the more year and more time you put in personal training, I think already know which people just after the first session are going to be in this for the long run versus the short run. So I definitely rejected some clients, and especially now too, because my book is fully packed. So I mean, I don't take everyone now. Let's say a lot of people hit me up to train. If you're not getting like, let's say price difference. Let's say certain times I do reject clients, I give them to another trainer. So yeah, I think as a trainer right now and after putting 4 years into this, you already know which clients are here for the long run. You already know which clients are good. So yeah, I mean, I had that before.
We both train a lot of good looking women. Okay. I've seen your stories. I've seen your pages. I'm sure you've seen mine.
Of course.
Our niches is building booties, building curves. I train men, but most of my clientele is women. I would say about solid 65 or 70%. The amount of men started growing actually recently. I think because of the route that I've been taking, promoting success, promoting men's growth on my podcast, etc., which is phenomenal. A shout out to you guys.
That's awesome.
But we do train a lot of good-looking women. Now, one of the questions I always get is it difficult training good-looking women?
No, I don't think so.
It's not.
I think it's the same thing as training anyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you look good, but what is that going to do for me? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You're still got to pay me. You're still going to pay the same price as everyone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it's difficult training good-looking women.
Okay. I completely agree. Now, to capitalize on that, you've mentioned your past relationships. I mentioned my past relationships. Have you ever been with a girlfriend who's had an issue training good-looking women?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why me and my ex had a lot of problems, was just literally because of that, because she always thought I was flirting with my clients. Right. She always thought I fucked all my clients, which never happened. But yeah, that was always a problem. And like I said, as a personal trainer, you're going to have that image, especially we train only girls. So we have that image, you know what I mean? Even if they don't know us, they're going to say to people, yo, he's definitely getting with his clients, you know what I mean? So yeah, with my ex, I definitely had that problem. And that was a big problem.
Why don't you share some stories out there for these future male personal trainers out there, just so that they could kind of know the obstacles, and I'll share some stories as well.
So share some stories on my ex with
yeah, like, you know, complaints that she would have, maybe scenarios, some actual stories where, you know, you had a huge fight because of XYZ.
So some things I always have problems was basically like, this is the biggest one. So I make a lot of content with my clients, and I'll do, let's say, partner workouts with my clients. So let's say a day I told my ex, like, yo, I'm gonna go make content with this girl at the gym. She'll blow up. Like, she'll blow up. She was like, why are you gonna make content with her? This and that. I'm like, yo, she has a boyfriend, number one. Number two, her boyfriend's okay with it. It's just content. Yeah. And nowadays, the algorithm on social media is woman. Yeah. So she will always have a problem with that. Or let's say one of my clients comments under my photos. It could be a fire emoji. She'd be like, oh, so you're fucking her too now? A fire emoji, yo. Yeah. So I think those were the top two for me. And she was the same way. She used to... She would pull up to my gym half the time, like just checking up on me, seeing what I'm doing.
Just randomly, unannounced.
Randomly, bro. Randomly. Like just peeking underneath the window, seeing who I'm training, this and that. Because I would have, let's say everyone has their favorites. So you probably have your favorites. I have my favorite clients. So there'll be some clients I post more than others. So the clients that I post more than others, she already think I'm getting with them or I'm doing this with them, which is nothing like that. But I think those are the top three biggest things that would happen with me in my past relationships. What are some of yours?
Some of the things that would happen with me in my past relationships as a trainer, training good-looking women, would probably be liking my clients' photos on Instagram.
Yes, that's a good one too.
That's huge.
She was stalking my clients.
And you know what it is? You know, they think it's because, you know, they're in a bikini or they're wearing tight clothing, etc.
Nah, just showing love.
Now there's two reasons. One reason is because I built that booty.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. And I got to show love because I built it and she hired me. She paid me for me to build it. That's number one. But that's not the main reason. The main reason is to promote and to push my username, my tag in the algorithm. For example, if for the people that do not know, and for the jealous girlfriends out there that do not know, if you end up liking a lot of photos, especially if you have hypothetically the favorites that you end up having as a client, if you always like their photos, Instagram will notice that. So 100%. Then when you end up posting a story or posting a post, a reel, one of the first profiles that is going to show up when they open up the app is the trainer, me, the booty doctor.
Oh, yeah.
So when that happens, she's going to be more prone to like the photo, share the photo, share the video, etc. Why? Because we have the most engagement. Now, if you times that by 10 or 15, especially the favorites who have 20,000 followers, 100,000 followers, even 1 million followers, you're almost, this is work. Me going on Instagram and liking people's photos is literally work. So when they end up showing love to me, that's still work. And I think a lot of girlfriends don't understand that. They think we're just, you know, or some trainers are just fucking thirsty and we're just liking other girls.
Yeah. So another one I also had was progress pictures. So you know when your client sends you their progress pictures.
I never had that. Okay.
See, so let's say my girl, me, when I'm in a relationship, if she ever wants to go through my phone, you can take it. I don't care. So there'll be times like she would have my phone in the car playing music and I'll get a picture. So what I usually do is once a month with my clients, I'll get their progress pictures. And they already know they're every single month, they'll send it to me. And I'll say this one time we're driving the car, she's changing the music and she sees a message and it's one of my clients, so she presses it and it's her progress pictures. And
she would open it without your permission?
Yeah, I mean I don't care. Like I don't care. I'm not doing nothing wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. But I wasn't doing anything wrong. So I didn't care if she go through my phone. And yeah, she saw the progress pictures and started tweaking. Yeah, what is this? Why is she sending you pictures in literally a bikini or stuff like that? I'm like, bro, it's a progress picture. That's how I make my money. It's testimonial.
Right.
So that's another big tip for trainers with trying to get in a relationship while training girls. It's another big tip.
Now, you've mentioned multiple times, about 3 times, that we have this stigma where we're fuck boys and we fuck our clients, this and that. Do you think in a macro, because there's obviously shitty trainers out there that end up doing it. I'm not gonna cap, or I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There are people just like that. do you think it's unfair that these people end up branding professionals like us with that stigma?
It's very unprofessional. I think so. Just because it's like, let's say I'll get clients that literally come to me just because their last trainer chat will get with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, bro, you get those a lot,
I get those a lot, yo. I get those
especially if you
I'm not
train
gonna say
mostly
who.
women.
I'm not gonna say who what trainers, and there's this one trainer that I got a lot of clients from, and every single girl literally told me the same thing. Yo, he was a creep. He tried to get with me. So, I mean, that creates an image just for personal trainers in general. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that definitely destroys our image as a personal trainer if you train girls.
Yeah, you know, one of the first things that I ask, one of the first things that clients say when I ask for testimonials is, especially women, is Brian's phenomenal, Brian's this, Brian's that. Ladies, he is not a creep. And that's like the most, I guess that's the most complimentary thing that you can say to a male trainer that 100%. Trains women, because once other potential clients end up hearing that, even men and women, because men, again, you know, men have egos, but they end up training with trainers. However, there's most men that end up reaching out to trainers that they approve for their girlfriend as well.
100%.
You know what I'm 100%. Saying? So us guys out there, they end up kind of choosing the trainers, and they end up doing their homework and trying to see if they're fuckboys or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a huge compliment when a client, a female client, ends up saying that this guy is not a creep, because, you know, they always leave their creep trainer just for someone else.
I get those a lot, yo.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
What's the funniest training story that you have?
I have a lot, but I think my funniest was, so basically I get this new client. I literally meet her a week before she comes in for her first session, and she's a bottle girl. She goes to the city a lot, and literally we just start talking about the bottle service industry, this and that.
Right, because you worked at Abarca, you knew the vibes.
Yeah, I knew the vibes.
Right.
So we were just talking about who she's bottle served before, and just off the first session, she literally told me 5 guys she fucked, right? And 5 guys, ready? James Harden, Ben Simmons, D'Angelo Russell. And I'm like, yo, it's my first time talking to you. It's our first session. You're that comfortable with me. So I think the bottle girls are definitely the funniest girls to train. I love training my bottle girls. I think that's my favorite type of clientele. I think bottle girls, they get me the most clients because they work at so many different clubs.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's that's like a jackpot.
And half the time they're not even paying for the session. So
it's a sugar daddy's paying for it.
Literally, or they have OnlyFans that pay for it. Literally, I have this one bottle girl client that she comes to me the first session. Same girl. She's like, look, the only reason why I'm here is because some guy on OnlyFans wants to pay me to work out because he wants to see more pictures of me in the gym. I was like, oh shit. So I was like, all right. So $100 a session, an hour. Boom. And just like that. So those girls are the funniest girls to train. They have so many stories with them.
Do you end up making your own prices for training? Or how does that work, especially since you are working under like a main trainer at a facility?
So how it works is basically we have a price sheet. So we always have a price sheet. We change the price sheets all the time. So obviously my first clients, when I first started working there, their price is a little lower because they've been with me since day one.
And they're grandfathered there.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But let's say one question I always stalk my clients' Instagram before I give them a price. So let's say a client, she has money, she has a lot of money. Obviously, I'm going to charge her a little more. You know what I mean? That's the business of it. So I try to go off the price sheet, but some clients do pay more, some clients do pay less, just because, let's say, my beginner clients, when they first start with me, they always pay less. And then right now, let's say I try to push more 30-minute sessions. And for 30 minutes, I charge anywhere from like $50 to $60 for 30 minutes. But yeah, so it just depends who.
All right. So you mentioned 30-minute sessions. You mentioned 30-minute sessions versus
an hour.
Versus an hour. Can you elaborate on that? Why would you push more half-hour sessions? Is it just more volume on your end? Or do you prefer, do you have like a niche where you just kind of push more like HIIT workouts and half-hour sessions like that?
So how I see it is basically, if you're just starting out with me, you're doing 30-minute sessions no matter what. I don't care how long you worked out for, just because I'm a very intense trainer. You know what I mean? It's not like working out, just going by yourself to the gym. Because, and I tell my clients, it's like, if you do an hour, by the 40th minute, you're going to be dead. And that last 20 minutes, you're going to lose your money. You're not going to be at your full capability to do your workout. And not only that, it's just I make more money in 30 minutes. So let's say for an hour, I can charge 2 people $50 for 30 minutes each one. And then for an hour, I charge like $70. So I make more money doing 30-minute sessions. So with an hour, I only do if you're 3 people or more. So 3 people or more, then I'll do an hour. But let's say 2 people or 1 people, I will do 30-minute sessions. That's how I do it.
Oh, so you end up doing group training as well for the 30 minutes.
So I do groups. So I'll do 2 people for 30 minutes. But once it's 3 people, then I'll push an hour.
Okay.
That's how I do it. But I mean, I like 30-minute sessions. I feel like it's quick. I can schedule a lot more people in a day. And like in a day, I see like 20 clients a day. Right. So I can't do hour sessions. So I do 30-minute sessions. Yeah. And it's like I'm not killing myself. So let's say my schedule, how it work is I start at 6 a.m. That's the earliest I'll take, and I'll end at 11 a.m. Then I'll come back at 4 p.m. and I'll take clients at 10:30. So I try to go back to back every single 30 minutes. Right. And I try to get most clients as I could. So that's why I try not to push hours. Let's say I have time. Let's say I have a client at 7 and my next client's not till 8. Then I'll give them an hour. You know, so why not? Like, give them an hour. But I try to push more 30-minute sessions because I feel like I'm like more of a HIIT trainer. I love doing like after every single set, you do a superset. I love that type of style of training. And I feel like that's the best way to see your results.
Do you think that came from working at a commercial gym like LA Fitness? Because the training sessions there were a half hour?
No, LA was an hour. My LA was an hour. So it was hour sessions.
An hour session with a trainer?
Yeah. So LA Fitness was an hour.
Really? I
remember. Yeah, they changed it. And I mean, I just like 30 minutes. An hour is too long. For one person, it's too long.
That's crazy. You know, like, I want to tackle LA Fitness and I want to tackle hour sessions. So when I was in LA Fitness, they would sell 1 hour sessions. However, they would push half hour strength training with a trainer, half hour with a cardio. But like cardio is like, all right, bye. I'll see you next week. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's a scam. And what's crazy is that like people would literally be willing to pay $70 or $75 for a half hour session with a trainer, which is crazy.
Terrible trainers too.
Yeah, terrible trainings.
Terrible.
But for 1 hour training sessions, I prefer 1 hour training sessions.
Okay.
I used to do half hours, but then it comes into the habit of, you know, there's always some clients that end up being 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
And then and that's the only pickle because things happen, life happens. And since I've been in the business for 12 years, well over a decade, there's always going to be those type of clients that are always going to be running on Spanish time. They're always going to be 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late. And then on top of that, after the 15 minutes, like they come in. It's like you can only do so much within 10 or 15 minutes.
100%.
That, and then sometimes, you know, some of these people that would be in a budget for a half hour, which is completely fine. Sometimes you can't afford the 1 hour. They would just purchase 2 half-hour sessions a week. Now, if you actually think about it, if you step back, you know, unless you're doing, you know, HIIT training or anything like that, if you step back, you're only seeing a client for like an hour that week. There's only so much a trainer could do. We can't really hold your hand. And even then, like comparing that to seeing someone 3 times a week for an hour, you're only seeing someone 3 hours a week out of only, you know, X amount of hours within a day.
Well,
times
so
7.
With my clients, I try to push to them, don't get comfortable with me, like training with me. So I try to push them 2-3 times a week, and then the rest you go by yourselves. Because I don't want clients to feel like they need me next to them the whole time. They're dependent on you. Right. I want to see my clients one day in the future just they don't need me no more. They can do their own thing. Yeah. So I try to push, like the most popular for me is 3 times a week. Yeah. That's the most popular. That's like basically what all my clients do is 3 times a week.
Right.
So that's why I stick with 30 minutes. An hour It's very hard to last an hour with me. That's all I can say. It's very hard to last an hour because I'm a very intense trainer. It's the way I like to be trained. You know what I mean? I'm a very intense trainer. So I think hour is mostly for groups.
When I used to do half hours, one of the most challenging things, and I'm just expressing this for, you know, future trainers out there. One of the most challenging things for me would be, you know, especially women who would try to gain weight. You know, someone who is weighing 100 pounds, 120 pounds, and they want to get to 130, 140. They need to eat a lot. They need to make sure that they're lifting heavy weight, but they should not be burning too many calories in a workout, because again, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So that being said, what I would do is, you know, like what would be challenging for me was the fact that they would come in for a 30-minute session and they're like, hey, I want to gain 10, 20, 30 pounds.
Okay, yeah, I see where it comes.
And then you end up putting them, again, in a bodybuilding type of training program, because you can't do really hit with them if they're trying to gain weight. Can't. So then on top of that, you need rest in between sets, which is a minute, 2 minutes, etc. So then on top of that, if you actually think about it, in a half-hour session, you can only squeeze in maybe 2 or 3 workouts, 2 sets each.
I mean, I don't know. So me in 30 minutes, I get probably about 5 workouts in.
Right.
Because they know once they get to that facility, there's no more playing around. We're getting to work. So I tell them there's no phones. So that's number one. Mm-hmm. When we work out, there's no phones. So obviously I have my phone to take videos, but there's no phones. I want you to stay focused. And I tell my clients 30 seconds to a minute at most. Mm-hmm. So I try to keep your heart rate going. I don't want you to slow down. So, and I superset a lot of things. I love supersetting. So I say I have my clients do 15 RDLs, and I'll tell them, all right, you're going to superset, you're going to give me 10 hamstring curls. So stuff like that to keep them going and going. I think in 30 minutes, I get like 5, 6 workouts done.
Right. Again, guys, like there's many different ways to get to the number 6. Like I said before, 5 + 1 is 6, 3 + 3 is 6. You know, I'm sure DQ is very successful in his goals with his clients. I'm very successful, obviously, with my goals with my clients. Yeah. We have different perspectives, and this is one of the reasons why I like to have fitness enthusiasts and trainers on my podcast, because, again, we have different perspectives, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to get to the number 6.
Everyone trains different.
Exactly. But that was definitely one of my challenges when I used to do half hours. So then I ended up scrapping half hours, and I would just only do hours.
So in 1 hour, how many like workouts would you get done in an hour?
Well, I mean, again, it depends on the client. Yeah. You know what I mean? It depends on their movements. It depends on their exercises. Like my niche specifically is building booties and fat loss. You know, if they have past injuries, that's like a plus for me, because you know, I used to major in physical therapy. Okay. So I went to college and I got an exercise science degree. I got a bachelor's in it. So I have a lot of experience in the, you know, rehab realm, physical therapy realm, the and the bodybuilding realm, especially since I used to work at commercial gyms and things like that. So I'm very well rounded in those type of areas. But you know, my niche is, if I had to literally, once I joined HCT, I really had to narrow things down. I really had to kind of just like dial into just 2 things that really worked for me. And I just went through the 60 plus 70 plus transformations that I've done in 10 years, 12 years. And it's like, damn, like I really built some ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I built some ass, and I've had a lot of crazy transformations where, you know, a lot of obese men and women have lost more than 50, 60, 100 pounds.
That's awesome.
So when it came down to it, I was like, yeah, you know, like I love rehabbing people from back injuries. I love training people for a bikini competition and physique competitions. But again, my progress report shows that I build booties and I lose fat. So that was my niche. But yeah, that was a good question, Lucas. So Luke, I have this segment where I like to have and ask questions based on entrepreneurs, and based on entrepreneurship and business. But however, since you are a trainer, I want to ask questions related to entrepreneurship and training. Okay. And these are random. What I would like you to do is just kind of like tackle them with a few sentences just to go through them, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So the first question is being a personal trainer for everyone?
No, it's not. I feel like personal training, you got to have a lot of patience, and you got to know the difference between training yourself versus training a client. I feel like a lot of personal trainers think it's, all right, the same workouts I do is going to work for someone else, but everyone's body is different. So I think, personal training is not for everyone. It's a lot of patience.
Let me flip that question. Is the personal training career for everyone?
Same thing. I don't think so. I don't think personal training is for
so
everyone.
Even if, let's say, someone is in love with fitness, that does not mean that person's going to be a good personal trainer.
100%. The person with the best body you see on Instagram, he can be a terrible personal trainer.
Why do you say that?
Because everyone's body is different. He knows how to train his body. He wouldn't know how to, number one, with personal training, there's a lot of business. Number one is like you got to keep your clients engaged into you. You got to basically make sure that client, you keep them basically by they can't do the same workouts without you. So I feel like seeing your person on social media with the best body, they can't be a good personal trainer. It's a lot of knowledge personal training. So yeah, I don't think it's for everyone.
Should everyone have a personal trainer?
I think me even personally, I want to get a personal trainer. I think you're not going to get the same workouts by yourself versus someone pushing you through it. And the greats, everyone has a personal trainer. The greats have a personal trainer. LeBron James has a personal trainer. Michael Jordan had a trainer. So everyone has a personal trainer. I think in the future, I definitely want to get into a personal trainer because as the more years you put into working out, it gets tiring. Sometimes, like being in the gym all day training clients, and when it's my turn to work out, I don't even want to work out. But I still push it because now after a few years of working out, it's not even about how my body looks in the mirror. It's just that hour to myself in the gym. But in the future, I think I definitely want to get a personal trainer. I think having a personal trainer, you're going to see your goals a lot faster. And it's basically like a mentor. It's like the HCT program. It's like I always wanted to get into online training, but I knew if I did it myself and took that route, it would take a lot longer than rather than have a mentor that's going to teach me everything, and everything's right in front of your face, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. So I think having a fitness coach in anything, having a coach in anything is very beneficial.
Yeah, definitely. I could vouch for that. You know, I have my Muay Thai coach, shout out to the Fight Lab, trained me for my fight and trained me for Muay Thai. I mean, it's different, man. You know, having someone there pushing you past your limits. It's one thing you being able to do that for someone else, but you know, I think it's very rare and very humbling for a man literally saying that, yeah, you know, like I would love to have a personal trainer
100%.
or have a personal trainer.
Like sometimes I tell like one of the trainers, let's say I'm working now and I see one of the trainers at the gym, they're not really doing much. I tell them, yo, push me through a set real quick. Like push me through like a couple sets, and they will. And it feels so much better. Cause let's say in my head, all right, I got 15 reps here. Right. And their head, all right, I'm going to make this guy do like 10 more. Yeah. So I think having a coach, it definitely pushes you a lot more.
Now you mentioned a little bit, you touched base upon getting into fitness. I kind of want to really go into detail with why personal training, why fitness, like how did you find this calling to become a PT?
Okay. So I told you how I was like very skinny.
Yeah.
So that year when I first started to get into the gym, and I was starting to gain a lot of weight, and people would see on social media, yo, you're looking amazing. They would tell me all the time, you're looking bigger. You gained a lot more weight. And then from there, a lot of my friends, this is just my friends, they would come to the gym just to work out. And I'll never forget, one of my friends was like, yo, you can just start charging people to do this. Like, everyone wants to work out with you. All my friends were starting to ask me to work out with me. So he told me, yo, just start charging people. So what I did was I basically started charging my friends like $15. That's it, just to work out with me, $15. I had like 3-4 of my boys work out with me at a time. And then from there, I was like, I want to take the next step. I want to go into a big gym. So what I did was I told you I DM'd maybe 15, 20 personal trainers in New Jersey. Just, hey, I'm getting my personal training license. I'm not really good from just reading things off a book and learning. I need someone to mentor me through this process. And out of all of them, The only guy that answered was the guy who worked for Arthur. So Booties by Arthur.
Yeah.
He was the only one that answered. He basically told me, it was like, yo, bro, I got my new gym opening in a couple months. Until then, get a job at LA Fitness, start learning how to do it, start learning the business. And then from there, we can go from there. So the whole time, I thought this guy was just going to mentor me. And I would text him every week, yo, if you need help with anything, setting up the new gym, let me know. And this is the first location. This is 2 years ago. And basically one day he was like, yo, we're going to have a meeting at some cafe. Come so you can see all the trainers. So I go to a cafe and he basically just offered me a job just straight up right there. He was like, yo, I see your Instagram. I see you putting in the work. Like, I want you to help me with this gym. And from there, I started working with Arthur, and he mentored me through everything. He was my first mentor. So he mentored me through how to be a personal trainer, how to take the business route in personal training. With this second gym, he put more into the reason why I like him and I want to work for him is because he didn't feel like a boss to me. So he wants to see all of us grow. So basically, in that gym, he will offer us, yo, if you guys want to buy a piece of this gym, you guys can buy a piece of this gym. The next gym we want to open in New York City, that's the next place we want to go to. So we have one in Garwood, one in Springfield. The next one, we want to get a building in New York. So we want to build a masterpiece in New York where basically the bottom floor is just personal training one-on-one. And the second floor is going to be an open gym to only girls. The third floor is going to be basically like a restaurant. It's like a fit eat restaurant. The fourth floor, we want to do basically, so we have a lot of clients that have their own businesses. So lashes, hair techs, your nail techs. We want to have 3 rooms where basically our best clients with the best businesses have their spots up there, have their businesses. So all their clients come to us.
It's like rentable or leasable.
And then at the top floor, we want to basically have a bunch, how girls get the massages and all that stuff, the body cupping, the booty cupping. We want to have all those upstairs. And when that piece is ready, he already told me, he was like, yo, I'll give you a piece. So I'll give you the number. If you want to do that with me, I can do that. So I think definitely meeting Arthur definitely changed my life 100%.
That's amazing, man. And shout out to Arthur. Yeah. I spoke to him a few times. There's been conversations for him to come on the podcast as well.
I'll push him. He's very busy though. Arthur is like,
yeah, I could imagine. You know, he mentioned that when we were speaking, he was trying to open up his second location.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And
Arthur's
the
awesome.
second location looks great. I'm interested to pick his brain on like how he's gonna do that in the city. Because is he gonna lease a building? Is he gonna buy a building? So there's a lot of liquid capital there.
Yeah, he has a lot of capital. So I know he has a lot of capital. He has a few businesses back in his country, the Philippines. He has a few car wash businesses over there. And we do very good here. So we have basically in 1 month between 6 trainers, we average about 1,400 sessions. So I can just imagine how much he's making.
Yeah.
So my cut, we get like 60. So basically I get 60%. He takes 40. So, I mean, it's his gym, so obviously that's good. That means I'm not paying rent or nothing. He takes care of everything. So I think he's getting ready for that. That's not next year, but that's the following year. And then we want to open up a clothing brand. That's the next thing. So that's what I'm going to be part of, me and him. So that's one thing that from the start I told him I want to go half with you on a clothing brand. Because in COVID, I got into e-commerce, drop shipping. Mm-hmm. So I learned that whole business about making your own website, how to import products. So I always had the idea of making a clothing brand. That was my dream, to have a clothing brand. So now that I'm into fitness and now that we have a big clientele, creating a clothing brand will be very easy for us. We're not going to go into a clothing brand without selling to no one. We're going to go into a clothing brand selling out just from our clients and basically free advertisements. And we have a lot of people that go to our gym that have a big following. So I think by the time that's probably going to be by the end of this year, we're going to have that ready. Right now, we're just going through manufacturers, looking for manufacturers, looking at ideas, getting all the LSCs done. So I think that's going to be a very good thing for us. And I think that by that time, that will also be put into the building.
That would be pretty dope, man. I've actually had a few people in clothing brands and manufacturing as well. So I mean, if you ever need that connection, I could set that up. I've had like 2 or 3 people on the pod that have their own business in that.
The name's gonna be Body Glow.
Body Glow?
Yeah, Body Glow.
That's pretty dope.
So basically it's gonna be like an athleisure brand. So it's gonna be like your Lululemons. But the thing is, we're not going to try to catch Lululemons because they're on a whole different level.
Right.
So my plan is to basically have our company in Target. So let's say you go to Target, you see leggings in Target, you see a nice pair of leggings. That's the type of niche I want to get into. It's Target and Walmart, that type, because people buy from there. Yeah. The Duques and stuff like that. I don't want to reach Lululemons. Lululemons is enough. They're far. Their marketing team's awesome. But I think that the clothing brand to be a very successful business.
That's dope. That's dope, bro. All right. Next question in the segment. Should you go to college or is college a scam? I think I already know or can assume the answer, but just kind of like, if it's going to be the same answer, go ahead and explain. But, just stepping back and just looking at the macro. I know you just shared your experience in that.
I mean, I think that in today's world, besides going to school to be a lawyer, being a doctor, everything you can learn free on the internet. And my thing is, so let's say I didn't go to college, but I did pay for this course, the HCT course. And what people don't get is people are paying so much money to go to business school. But if you ask your professor in the business school, what business do you have to your name? They're going to say nothing. They're a professor. So why are you putting your money into a professor rather than you can put money into a mentor that they have stuff to show?
Right.
So I feel like if you have that entrepreneurial mindset, don't go to college. If you already have that idea of, damn, I don't want to go to college. I don't want to work a 9-to-5 job the rest of my life and rely on a pension. Don't do it. Take the risk. I mean, it's a risk, but you can learn everything on the internet in today's world. But also college is a good way to, let's say you're going to college out of state. It's a good way to start preparing yourself for adulthood. You know what I mean? Living on yourself, paying for bills, making your own food. So that's another good thing. And it's good experiences. I mean, partying and stuff like that. But I mean, I was never into that. I was never into the partying. I was never into after working at a club for 2 years, I was done in clubs. So, I mean, teach their own. I think college, I think more people are starting to see that now, that you can make money just on your phone. I can go online and just buy and resell things and make $100K a year. So I think college is getting outdated, number one. And number two, it's going to be a switch. And then a lot, I mean, what I don't like about it is the taxes we pay for certain colleges, right? Most of our taxes go to schools and paying for kids that once they get their degree, they're never going to use that degree ever. So why are we paying for that? You know what I mean? So I think college is no. So college is no. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think to capitalize on that, unless you're majoring in STEM, any science, math, etc., medicine, like Luke said, you could learn everything from the internet now.
Easy.
Yeah. But to play devil's advocate, there are some people that do not have the drive to be an entrepreneur, yet alone a personal trainer. Personal training is very, very difficult if you're going to make a career out of it. But an entrepreneur, period. Some people can't handle the rejection or can't handle failure. Because as an entrepreneur or a business owner, you're going to fail. You're going to fail, and you got to be and get comfortable in failing. If you're actually going to put your name on an LLC or an S Corp or an C Corp,
100%.
One of those businesses are going to fail, and then you're going to have to do it again, stand up, dust yourself off, open up another business, or do something in a similar niche, etc., and move on.
I mean, yeah, that's the game, though. I feel like I look at entrepreneurship basically as a sport, and it's the biggest sport. What I mean by that is basically like you're always going to be chasing someone. You're always going to be versing someone in entrepreneurship. So I think entrepreneurship is like a sport, and that's why I love it, and that's why I always love sports. So I feel like entrepreneur was perfect for me because it's a game, it's a hustle.
Right.
It's like who wants to be at the top?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and people can't stomach that failure, that first failed business.
You're gonna fail.
That second failed business, and you have to just accept the fact that you're gonna fail at some point, and you got to step forward from there. I always have a phrase or a saying. You have to move 2 steps back to move 5 steps forward.
That's an awesome quote.
And you could utilize that in fitness. You could utilize that in injuries. You could utilize that in entrepreneurship as well. But yeah, that was a good explanation, Luke. What's the biggest loss or scam you had in business?
Biggest loss or scam. I mean, I never really had a loss or scam. Never. I was always smart with what I put my money into or stuff like that. I mean, I guess you can say my biggest loss is just crypto.
Okay.
That's probably my top one. I put a lot of money into.
Let's go into that. So,
crypto.
What was the crypto? How much?
So, Nothing crazy, but I put like maybe like 5K into Litecoin,
Okay.
and that was when it was at like almost $400. And now if you go on crypto.com, it's like at $40.
Right.
So I mean, it's not crazy loss, but I mean, yeah, at the time it was. This is like when I was maybe like 18 years old.
Okay.
So for that time, it was a big loss. I think another loss I was gonna get into. So I told you I was into e-commerce, and I didn't get into it. Right. And I knew if I would have got into it, I would have been mad. But so me and my friends, we got into e-commerce basically. You know what e-commerce is or no? So yeah, so my friends built this store. They wanted me to be part of it. I said no. So they had this store where basically like it was an anime store.
Okay.
And this is when we first got into job shipping. So they built a whole anime store selling like anime stuff, Naruto stuff. And one day we're just driving and their phone's going off. They hella people are buying shit for them. And then one day they made, I'll never forget, like $300,000 in sales.
Wow.
Right. So the whole week they're making like they've
And
made about.
this is net.
No. So this is just profit probably about maybe $100K.
Okay.
Because everything else is like all like marketing. You put money into ads.
Okay.
But in the whole week they made like over like about $250K in profit.
Wow.
And next thing you know, they get a letter in the mail basically saying that they got files for copyright. Because we didn't know all the rules at first. And so basically what they were doing was they were just going on Naruto.com, copying and pasting the pictures on their Instagram and stuff and putting it on their website.
Oh shit.
And this is when we were young. This was like 17 years old.
Right,
so we didn't really know much about job shipping. So they had to basically that whole account got deleted.
Wow.
And I was gonna be part of that. I was gonna be part of that website, but I said no to that.
And how much money did you have to put in if you were to go in there?
I mean, nothing. So we would just split all we would split all the advertisement.
Oh, so
costs.
so hypothetically, it was just lost time. It wasn't really lost
basically
money.
lost time.
Wow. Okay. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, job
That's
shipping,
insane.
you don't got to put money into job shipping. Job shipping now I feel like it's very hard to make a lot of money in job shipping because everyone's doing it now. Mm-hmm. But let's say if you were doing it during COVID, you made a killing. Yeah. And if you look at it, most companies, they start off as job shipping. Gymshark, job shipping. Not Sephora, Fashion Nova. So for all you ladies, right? If you go on AliExpress, you search up your favorite Fashion Nova product, it's going to be on AliExpress. Shein, that's another big job shipping company. Pretty Little Things, those are all job shipping companies, and they were all created before COVID. But now I feel like it's very hard to get into that type of field no more, and I feel like you just gotta leave it alone now.
Yeah, my biggest loss. We spoke about crypto. I put in 90,000 in Ether. When it was at like
on two different levels.
when it was at like 3,500.
Oh shit!
So you could already imagine if you're very, very good with math. Right now is in the high 1,000s, mid 1,000s.
Yeah, but that's the only.
Hopefully,
crypto.
it's gonna come up.
Yeah, don't worry.
But
don't worry.
I do not check my portfolio just because it ruins my day whenever I open it. You know what I'm saying? It's a shit show.
So my thing is, that's the only crypto I'll put my money into. And every week I still put my money into Ethereum. I feel like Ethereum in maybe 5 to 10 years, I see it past 10K.
Yeah.
I feel like Bitcoin, no. Take your money out of Bitcoin, put your money into Ethereum.
Really? Why not Bitcoin?
I mean, I think Ethereum, the gas prices and all that different types of things, I feel like a lot of different countries are going to go into more Ethereum. I feel like what's the digital icons, what's that called?
NFT?
Yeah, NFTs are run by Ethereum, so I feel like Ethereum has a lot to offer. Right. And for the price it is now, I'd pay $1,900 for a Ethereum rather than pay $20K for a Bitcoin.
That makes sense.
What was your biggest earnings? What was your biggest investment that you got from a crypto?
Probably 30.
Which coin?
30,000. It was Ether.
Ether.
It was Ether.
So mine was Shiba. Remember when Shiba went crazy?
Yeah.
So I put maybe like $3K into Shiba when it was like 6 zeros.
Okay.
6 zeros, right? So I put $3K into Shiba. And then when all the hype was going on, I look at my account, I'm like almost like 40, 50.
Wow.
And I held it because one of my friend's dad says, yo, it's going to be at half a cent. So I was like, oh shit, if it's half a cent, I'm going to be like fucking sitting on like 600,000.
Right.
Because it was still at 3 zeros. So I went from 6 zeros to 3 zeros. So I held it. And I held it. And I lost everything. Like it went back to like maybe like 5,000-6,000. So
Yeah,
I made
man.
like only like 3,000. I could have made like another 20, 50.
Yeah, well, it's one of those where,
Crypto's hard.
you know, I always, you can't regret the game, but like,
It's fun.
You know, when I was there, I was just, something in my head was just kind of like, dude, just fucking cash out.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
I
I'm
hate
saying?
cashing out. You know what I mean? Like I like my holdings on everything. I like holding it for the future.
Yeah,
It's
but
like my stock
but
account.
but the thing is, you know, just to play devil's advocate, it's not, you're not doing it on index funds or anything that's going to be growing exponentially. Like crypto is very, very new.
And I
You
feel
know what I'm saying? So it would have been like a nice, quick, like almost flipping a house, nice quick cash. Right
people
there
made
and
a lot
then,
of money from that.
and then capitalize from there.
I feel like we're never gonna have that time again.
Yeah,
Those 2 years of crypto going from
Right.
$50 to $300.
Yeah.
That's never gonna happen
Yeah,
again.
it's not gonna happen again.
Now the government cracked down on that shit, and that's why I'm not gonna put my money into that because you never know. One day the government can just pull the switch and crypto can be literally deleted.
I completely agree. Last question before, you know, you end up asking me some questions. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to ask me some questions if you have any. Do trainers get girls? I had to.
I mean, depends what type of a trainer you are. I mean, me personally.
Now, I'm not saying. I'm saying girls in general, not your clients.
Oh no,
obviously,
yeah,
but like girls in general.
I mean, yeah, I think for 100%. I think a big thing is if you see, it's like monkey see, monkey do. That's why I say it. And if you see a lot of sexy girls going to train with someone, you're gonna want to train with them. You're gonna want to get to know him. He might be the guy. You know what I mean? So I think trainers 100% get girls. Do you? Your business? You be getting a lot of girls in the DMs?
That's a phenomenal question. And to be honest, when I've had interest in girls, it sucks being a successful trainer, man. Because when you have interest in girls, and let's say you end up sliding into the DMs, they end up looking at your page. And they're like, oh my God, this guy's fucking phenomenal. I want an ass.
100%.
So then when your intention was like, hey, you know, like, what are you doing this weekend? Can I ask you out? Da-da-da. It's like, oh, bro, actually, I've been actually looking for a trainer. Like, can you train me? And
100%.
it's like, and then for me, I'm going to choose the money over the girl any day.
100%.
So it's kind of like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to put that card back in here.
I'll hold that.
You know what I mean? Like, no problem. You know, this is my price sheet. They end up paying me $1,000 a month or whatever the case may be, and then like that's it. Like it is what it is. Like
the worst ones I had is before happened. Like say you ever plot on a girl like when you're gonna want to hit her up or something like that.
Yeah.
So I had like this happened to me once, and I was applying for this girl for like a few times, and I was gonna slide up a couple times. I used to see her around. We used to see each other a lot, and the worst thing that happened was like she asked me to start training. So from there, I can't really play too much game because once you become my client, it's done up.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah. It's the worst, man. It's a curse. It's a curse. And then even then, you know, like, listen, like there's been scenarios where, you know, clients will train with you and then they'll stop.
Yes.
And then they'll train with you again.
Yes.
So like there's been scenarios where I've had good looking clients come and go, where it's like, yo, you know what? Like, I know this girl is going to come back or these girls are going to come back. Most clients always come back. And sometimes you can't even look at them like that. And
100%.
Sometimes I don't even befriend them. Like you mentioned that you would want to stay friends with them just because of the networking and the entrepreneurship
100%.
opportunities. For me, I would just keep them as an acquaintance. I wouldn't even be friends with them or anything like that.
I mean, it depends which clients. So some clients like I bond with a lot more. So some clients like they'll text me, yo, we're out in the city right now. You want to come out? Yo, we're gonna go out to eat tonight for someone's birthday. You want to come? And I would, like 100%. That's like the type of friendships I have with my clients. Like I want to make it known that, yo, if we stop training tomorrow, I'll still be really good friends with you outside of the gym. And that's not for all my clients, but some of my clients I got to know a lot, and they know a lot about me. And they help me with a lot of things. Let's say with my ex and stuff. So yeah, so I think it's different for every type of client.
Yeah, no, I have this rule where I'm just not.
Nah,
like
once you're done with me, you're not giving me no more money.
Yeah, no, it's not that like cold. You know, I do have some acquaintances where like even some clients who, you know, I had a housewarming, you know, I moved into this wonderful apartment. I have a nice view, and I'll invite clients here, you know, and like it obviously is professional, and even, you know, past clients, I would invite them. But I don't know, man, just like to be in a club or dinner and like, it's just, I think that's just a little too intimate for me. Are you looking to stay under, you know, Booties by Arthur? Do you want to open up your own gym? Do you have other things coming up with him, without him, for the people that are just tuning in?
So next for DQ Fitness. So obviously right now I definitely want to stay with Arthur 100%. Number two, I think definitely go into more online. I want to definitely go all in and tap in with my online business and try to see where that takes me. But with Arthur, I think that's going to be someone I do have business with lifelong. I think that's someone I want to commit to, not only working for him, and he knows that. He knows that. I told him before, too, I don't want to work for you forever, but I want to be a business owner with you. I'm still going to work with you, but I want to be a business owner. So I think that soon I definitely want to go to Florida. I think that's in the works soon. Next couple of years, I want to get down to Florida. Like most of my family.
And like permanently move there?
Yes. Most of my family lives there. My parents are going to move there probably by the time next year. Both my brothers are moving there this year. So I would definitely want to get to Florida. I feel like fitness, if you want to grow your name, Florida is a great place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people
huge
to meet.
There.
Huge. When I just got back from Bahamas, and I went with like 25 people from Miami. So one of my best friend's girlfriend, she used to live in Miami. So we met a lot of those people.
Right.
And two of the people, they own gyms there. They own a bunch of different shit.
Yeah, dude.
And I got to network with them. So and Florida, there's so many opportunities. So I feel like in Jersey, I want to definitely get out of my comfort zone. That's one thing I got to learn. I need to get out of my comfort zone. So I think the next thing is definitely just focus on online, focus on my one-on-one training. But I told you the fitness brand, so I definitely want to do the clothing brand. Soon, just opening gyms, try to take BBA to a whole new level. But yeah, I think that's it for now. That's like my main goals. I try not to have set too many goals. I try to set like 3 goals and then work on those 3 goals until it happens.
Right.
And then I'll set another 3 goals. So definitely right now, just try to do my online training, work on my fitness brand, and number 3 is a clothing brand. Those are my top 3 right now.
That's great, man. Why don't you share your experience on your first ever podcast? How'd you like being on this podcast?
Okay, so
you know, was I a good host?
No, you're awesome. You're awesome. So honestly, like when he first asked me, I was gonna say no, like a couple weeks, because I was never a person to really like talk to a camera, talk on a camera, talk on live. So I was never really want to do that, but I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. I want to get like comfortable talking to the audience online, people hearing how I sound. So I think after the first couple minutes, I was very comfortable, and like you made me comfortable. So it was awesome. I felt like there was no one there.
Yeah, definitely, bro. And you know, it's one of the reasons why I have people on here who are fitness enthusiasts and trainers or even business owners are to network. You know what I mean? You know, why tear down? We're in the same niche. We're in the same, you know, fitness realm. Why tear down other skyscrapers when we could both grow
100%.
and, you know, benefit from each other? You know, listen, the tradition here is to toast to your success.
Let's do it.
DQ Fitness, to BBA, to Arthur, to your mentor, to HCT, to Brandon Carter. And yeah, man, you know, I want you to succeed, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again, brother.
100%.
Oh man, that's a cap, guys. Let's see real quick if I have any questions on Instagram. No, I don't. All right, guys, that's a cap. Have a nice day, and stay tuned. No after hours today, guys. I really wanted to focus on DQ Fitness today. We'll be back with the after hours on Wednesday. All right, have a good day.